Nothing changes my opinion about the market or the trade I'm in except for the price itself. I'm not influenced in my thought process about the marketplace. I'm not swayed in my opinion about the things that I use and implement in trading. I'm not changing and tinkering anything. I'm not changing any settings. I'm not adding to, I'm not reducing. It's always the same thing. It's the same stuff every single day. Why? Because the market's doing the same shit every day. Time and price. How does the market know what pattern to use today? What harmonic pattern to use today? What school of thought? Is it Elliott wave today? Is it Wyckoff? Is it supply and demand? Is it Dow theory? Is it volume profile? VSA? Think, folks. Think. Every school of thought, every single one of them out there, they will never agree on everything at the same time. But you know what agrees? Time and price. The open, high, low, and close doesn't lie. It can't hide, and it ain't going to fucking change. Okay? So there's no reason for you to be worrying about how much I teach you this and how many more people come into the fucking party. It will not change shit. It just makes it better because there's more volume. There's more participation. That means what? Liquidity. More people in there doing it. It's going to be more. It's going to be more of a fun engagement. It's not that, all right, everybody's doing the same thing, so therefore, it's going to stop. Think about the logic in that. How many books have been written about supply and demand? How about volume profile? Why aren't the guys that do volume profile worrying about, oh shit, there's more people learning the volume profile. We better not teach that shit. It's all over YouTube too. It doesn't have my logo plastered on it. But the point is it's the same argument. You're worrying about things that are not something that you should be worrying about. Here's what's never going to stop happening, okay? The market's going to open at a predetermined time. They're going to close at a predetermined time. That's a constant. It's not going to fucking change. There's a holiday schedule that we follow. Sometimes we'll have a shortened trading session, or sometimes we'll have a completely closed trading session. That's time. That's not going to fucking change. That's a constant. The open, the high, the low, and the close. Those 3 price points, they're never going to fucking change. There's a beginning point, there's the highest and the lowest, and when it closes. Time and price. What it does and what liquidity it seeks and what inefficiency remains in the price, that is the variable. But those variables repeat over and over again in a format that is easily understood and identifiable. Last statement, and we're done. This Tuesday, I want you to think about what I'm walking you through. For the folks that are here or dabble in my videos and think, wow, this is a lot of shit here. How do I get through all this? How do I cut down to the meat? Get through all the fat, all the bullshit talking. What's something I can go out there and start working with? Here's what you're going to see, okay? We're going to look at Tuesday. Now, I don't know what Tuesday price action is going to be. I don't genuinely know. I don't know if it's going to be a shit day. I don't know if it's going to be a trending day. I don't know. It's just going to be the day that I first sit down and there it is. So if you've been a student of mine, you know that it's the first Tuesday of February. That's the general rule. That's when I resume live trading, okay? Anything in January, I usually don't even watch the charts. But because I want to be doing it live in front of you, I don't want to be rusty. I want to be close to the marketplace, and my finger's been on the pulse. But we sit down in front of these charts. I sit down in front of these charts. As a technician, I'm looking for the answer to one question first. Are we in a condition that is favorable for high probability trading? How do I arrive at the answer to that? I look at the economic calendar. What's the economic calendar for today? Is it loaded with high impact or medium impact news events? Or is it lacking any of that, but has those very things the next day. So in terms of day of week, we're going to be live streaming on Tuesday. So the economic calendar, I have not looked at. Hand to God, I've not looked at that economic calendar. I don't know if there is or isn't. I don't know. I'm going to do everything right for the first time on the live stream. I'm going to pull up the websites. I'm going to show you exactly what I walk through, exactly what I'm doing every fucking time I sit down in front of my charts. That's hard to, you don't see all that stuff that's not in the videos. Okay. I'm going to do that very thing. That way, you know, oh, okay, well, that makes sense now. It's not a lot. It's not acrobatics. Okay. It's requiring you to do all kinds of contortions and, meditations. It's simple, straightforward shit. But if there is a lack of news drivers today, but there's going to be a big news event tomorrow, we could potentially be in a listless trading condition. That means it's not a lot of animation, not a movement. So you have to be a real small, short-term scalper working on a 1 and 5 minute chart and be content with that. Or do nothing and wait for it to the next day where it has a high impact news driver. So there's your answer to the equation of, is it going to be a favorable position or day for trading with high probability? High probability of what? Seeing a nice sustained price run where it has multiple points of entry and allows at least 2 exits for partials before it reaches terminus. Oh, shit, that's pretty practical. That's some real bones right there. I can work with that ICT, right? But you're not going to get that in the first hour of the fucking sessions, are you? You gotta walk this mile with me, baby, okay? You brought road snacks, but some of you tapped out already. You didn't get that nugget. And then besides that, the next question is, okay, if there's going to be a favorable day, worth trading, not chopped up and chewed up into pieces, you want something that's clean, that has an opportunity to run, not have a strong probability of retracing against you and hit a stop loss that you want to use, hopefully. Are you bullish or are you bearish? How do we know that? We're using on the weekly chart. What's the weekly chart likely to do? Expand higher, expand lower. That's your premise going in. Premise is not narrative and it's not bias. It's just where we start from. And then we look at the lay of the land. What's the chart showing us? What did it do overnight in London? What did it do the last 2 days? Because we're on day 3 right now. The last 3 days, previous highs and lows. That's where your word that won't be named is going to reach for liquidity. Already in a few couple sentences, you're already seeing, wow, I can see a routine in this. Yep, it's the same routine every day. But you'll hear people say it's complicated. I'm not overcomplicating shit. I'm giving you a PhD level education. And you can streamline this down into the leanest, meanest motherfucking model you can ever come up with very few moving parts. But binary, if then, syntax. You got to know what you're looking for. If it does this, then you do that. If it does this, but not that, you do nothing. I'm walking you through that real time with a chart. There'll be a session portion that before the markets open up, we're doing this. So that way we have an idea, an expectation of what we're looking for. And if this does not pan out, what would constitute a reversal? Not every situation brings that. But I'm going to frame out what would cause that. It's not plan A, plan B, and that whatever one pans out, I'm right. The daft will think that. But the folks that are really learning, they'll see, oh, these are conditions. These are things that would support the idea of the trade, but it would no longer support the trade if it does this. What is that? You'll see it in the chart. I'm going to explain it to you because it's a varying situation, trade by trade. But the rules are pretty much the same way. But you have to see it a few times to understand what I mean by that. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm not adding new content. I'm showing you exactly what it is that you should be focusing on. And by doing that day by day, even when I'm not doing a live session, you should do this for yourself. Do the same things that I walk through. And don't be afraid if the outcome for what you're studying doesn't pan out the way you expect it to. There are opportunities for you to learn when it does that. And you don't want to learn the lesson with a live account that you didn't know what you were doing when you were just hoping it was going to make you money before you knew how to trade. And then once we identify if we're bullish or bearish, we're going to work out a narrative. What should happen? What should price try to do? If it's bullish, what should it try to do? What level of manipulation? What liquidity should it reach for? What shouldn't it reach for? And how should we expect the price to deliver? And then when the market starts booking price, you'll hear me call every candle. This is what we want to see. We don't want to see this. This is what we should see. There's nobody doing that. Everybody out there pretending they figured out my enigma, you'll never see them call every single 1 minute candle and outline exactly what it's supposed to do. Well, I'm going to do it all year fucking long. Week after week, you're going to see it. Okay? So if you want to see somebody pour everything into you, I'm doing it. I'm daddy. All you have to do is show up. Take notes, and I promise you, the end of this year will be worth celebrating. You will be in a location, mindset-wise, experience-wise, and skill set-wise, that you can't fully appreciate yet. But once you arrive there, you're going to remember this conversation, sitting here listening to this. You're going to know exactly what I meant then. Not now. You're excited for it now. But when you're there, no one's going to be able to take it from you. No one's going to cause you to doubt it. No one's going to make you feel like you wasted your time. You will have arrived. You'll know exactly what you're doing, when you're supposed to do it, why you're doing it, and when not to do something. You will not feel like you have to second guess what you're doing. You won't be influenced by anybody else. You probably won't even be on social media anymore afterwards. And that's a good thing. Your circle of influence will be the person in the mirror, as it should be as a trader. And I'm excited. I'm so fucking excited to see what all of you do with it. And I'm hoping that you're forthcoming with it. Don't be greedy with it and try to hide it and pretend and go around pretending you figured something out on your own and bullshit. Because there's a lot of you now that know my content, you're familiar with it, and you can see when people are calling bullshit, renaming it and doing other kind of dumb shit with it. You'll be ridiculed by that. You'll get more respect if you're just honest and say, you know what, I went through the task of going through it, like you said, and I'm my own trader now, and I'm using these concepts. That's awesome. I got all the respect for that. If you do well, I'll bump you. I got no problem. I'm not hiding people. I'm trying to promote you. There's nothing in me that's trying to slow you down. I guarantee you there ain't one motherfucker out there that's teaching paid or for free that's pouring more into anybody than I am. Because I know where I'm taking you. I know the outcome of this. Not for all of you, but for the ones that put the work in, I already fucking know. And I can't wait. I can't wait for you to understand exactly what I mean by that. Because once you feel it and you experience it, that's empowerment. That is confidence. That's not arrogance. That's not pride. That's confidence. The thing that you're lacking right now. You think you're confident your job needs you right now. It doesn't need you. You need it. You lie to yourself. You lie and say, that company needs me. Nope, it doesn't. And there's going to be a whole lot of people this year getting laid off, made redundant, and it's going to get worse into 2024. And what you're learning is a hedge against that. You may not be laid off. You may not be sacked. But you might not get a raise. And that would be impactful to you, wouldn't it? This gives you the ability to give yourself a fucking raise whenever the fuck you want. You want a new car? How much does it cost? Okay, let's figure this out. I need this many pips, this many points. Over the next 4 months, I can pay that bitch off in cash. Done. And not even drain anything and put yourself behind the 8 ball with all the other rules and goals that you have for yourself in your trading. Imagine this, okay? And I promise this is it because I'm starving now. ICT. You keep saying you're going to stop. You keep going. I over-deliver, motherfucker, and don't you complain about it, okay? Don't you complain to me about getting more than what you paid for, okay? Nobody fucking does that. Sit down. Imagine the power of saying, you know what? And this is not repping any specific funded account or company. And I think if there's anything that should be looked upon as maybe not lasting forever, it's that. I don't think the funded account type thing is going to be a thing for long term. I might be wrong. I've been wrong. But it's unregulated in a lot of ways. And I think that will eventually be affected. But that need not be a concern. Okay. I'll talk about this year how you can find ways to get money with the skill set that you'll learn. But believe me, there's lots of ways to do that. You don't need funded accounts to do it. But let's just say, for instance, once you get to the point at the end of this year, you know what you're doing. How many of you own your own home? How many of you rent? How many of you have a home with no mortgage? How many of you want a home with no mortgage? How many of you want a home with no mortgage and a new car with no car note? Now imagine at the end of this year, you have this skill set. You know how you can go in and get 25 handles per week out of the S&P. Multiple ways to do it, but you know with confidence, 25 handles is easy. You look around and you see a house you like. Okay? It may not be $2 million, 9,000 square feet, but it may be something that you would love to live in. You think to yourself, wow, you know what? I'm going to work diligently to try to get the closing costs, the down payment, so that way I don't have to have a PMI, which is like the secondary mortgage that a home buyer has to pay if they don't pay at least 80% of the note on that mortgage when they first buy it at closing. You get those closing costs associated with buying it covered, okay, for that particular house. And you secure your selection on a new vehicle, not a Lamborghini because they're garbage, okay, but a new ride. Something that it's reliable, something that you like, and it's economical. The best thing you as a trader can do is, number one, give yourself a nice living place and a reliable form of transportation. If you can secure that and it costs you nothing out of pocket except for the upkeep on it, you are actually in the highest bracket in the United States. Because most people don't own their home and most people don't own their cars. They're paying a note of some kind. Imagine the power and confidence in knowing that, okay, I'm going to purchase this house with somebody else's money. Because that's what you're doing if you're using that funded account. Yes, you're paying your monthly expense to maintain it, from what I gather from it. That's what I understand about them. But you secure the funding and you do the work to build the account up. And you get that house settled. It's in your name, but you didn't pay it off yet. And you secure your car. You didn't pay it off yet. But you're paying the notes on it through your trading. You have one account that meets those expectations, and that's it. You're not taking your results to social media. You're not doing this crazy shit where you're trying to look better than everybody else. You're not competing with anybody else.